Alright, so let's have a look. So with a random character, it means we want a random character from the code for the person. So what do you think? What is our first step? What's the first thing we need to do? So step one, get the code. So code will be, what data type do you think the code will be? So what should give you an idea is I'm asking where is the hash and where is the X. So if you're putting hashes and X's in, what data type will the code be? So remember, with integers, it's only for numbers. And is an hash and the X numbers? Yes. So code will be a string. And now to extract that code, we want to go from our edit box code.text. So that now will take the code out of the text box and put it in there for us. So now we've got the code. What is the second step that we need to do? Do you agree? Our next thing is we need to find out or find a random position in the code. Because we can't get random characters, but we can find a random position. Now, our random function, we can get a random position, but now our random function needs to know like in what range do we want to extract the character from. So for us to know that, it means we need to know how many characters are there. So we're going to need to know the length of the string. And length, which data type would that be? If it's going to be like how many characters are in the string. What do you think? So length will give us an integer. So now our length will get the value of, yes, perfect. So to find out how many characters there are, we're going to use the length function. And we want the length of the code. So length of code will tell me how many characters are there in code. And now we've got that. So now we know the first character is in the position 1 and the last character is in this position. So now we can go create a random value which will give us a random position. So if I want a random position or a random number between 1 and length, what will my function be? Yeah, that's correct. So we say random, highest minus lowest plus 1. So what is our highest value we want to get? Yes, perfect. And the lowest value? So that sort of weighs the first character, which is the first position. Yes, and then plus 1. And then outside. So it's plus lowest, which is 1. Yes. So now what we've got is we've got a random position. Now we just need to get a character at this position out and display it. So that will be another string. Character random. So character random. How do I extract this one character in this position? So we can use a copy function to copy out of code, starting at position ran for one character. That would extract one random character, and then we just display it in this edit box. So that's the one way of doing it. No problem. I'm just helping with the random button, and then we're going to do the find the hash after this. So the other option you could have also had, if you wanted your random character, you could have also gotten from code and then using the square brackets. Ran. Yes. To find out where the hash is, what is our first step? Yes, perfect. So I'm just going to copy paste that. All right, so we get the so we get the code, and then what? What's our next step? Do you agree? Now I just want to find out where the hash is. So what data type will that answer be? So it will be an integer. That's correct. Because it's a hash. We're finding out where the hash is. So it will be either 5th character or 7th character or 1st character or whatever. Now we can just immediately go and say hash must get the value. And then what function do we use to find out where something is in a string? So random gives me a random number. Now I don't want a random number. I mean, there's a string. Let's say the string could be something like 1, 2, 3 hash 4, 5, 6, and I want to know where's the hash. So I want the answer 4. I don't want a random number. I want the answer 4 because 4 is where the hash is. So what copy does, copy gives me a piece of a string. So I can copy a piece of a string out of another string. So code has got lots of things, and copy gives me a piece of it. So I don't want a piece of the string. I just want to find out where this thing is. So which other functions can you remember? Okay, so then, can anybody else help her? You remember the pos? Yes. So we just use pos. And the first part of pos is just, what are you looking for? So we are looking for the hash. Next part is in where are you looking for it? We're looking for this in the code. Now we've got the answer. Now we must just go display it. So in our edit, okay, which is hash, which is actually I called it 9. In the text property, we want to put the answer hash. But remember, hash is now an integer. So we just need to change this integer to a string. And that's how that one will work. So we get the code, find the position of hash inside code, and then just display it. Perfect. And so your next one, the x, is very similar. The only thing is you're not going to look for hash, you're going to look for x.